Hi, I'm Amy, and today we're going to go beyond beauty to talk about all the books that I did not finish in the year 2023. I have my little puppy here, Ruby. She is having a little bit of separation anxiety because I've been very busy today, so you might see her popping in from time to time. Also, what do you think about this background? Let me know what you think, because a while back, I had done a short saying that I had a job interview, and I did get the job, and I will be a reading interventionist for an online school, and I'm very, very excited to be able to help struggling readers while I'm doing that at home, so I can still do school at home with my daughter. And this is going to be my background for my online classes. So let me know what you think. What can I do to kind of spruce it up a little bit more? So 2023 was a year that I really dove into audiobooks and really stepped up my game in reading. I am on par and on pace to be able to finish 70 books by the end of December. And I am shocked at that. 70 is 3 times more than what I've ever finished before. So I'm very, very excited about what I have finished, but there are some things that I just couldn't stomach. So this video today is going to be a little bit sassy as I share with you some of my opinions of some books that you might find were wonderful. And if you do find they're wonderful, I'm very glad for you. Everybody's book taste is different. Books and genres are so specific to each person. So while these books were not interesting enough for me to finish, and I had issues with some of them, I'm happy if you did, because that means that you read something. So, very good. So keep the comments nice if you disagree with me. I do appreciate that. The first book that I have is a popular one. So I am sorry if this is unpopular opinion, but it is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And I have my daughter's computer right here so I can read my notes and kind of give you synopsis of most of these books. So this book chronicles Lily and Ryle, and they meet on a dark and mysterious night. And a romance ensues, of course. And as their relationship progresses, thoughts of a boy from Lily's past continue to come to the surface for her. This boy, his name was Atlas, and he was dark and mysterious, kind of like this guy Ryle, and so she's really torn. Atlas comes back into her life, and so she's torn about what to do. My main issues, I have many issues with this book. Number one, the names are just really ridiculous, and this girl's name is Lily Rose, maybe even, and she's a florist, and that's just very literal. I'm sorry, that's way too literal. Ryle is a crazy name. Atlas is a crazy name. We have no one has a normal name in this book. And I also found that the plot was really weak. And as soon as it started getting to the sex and the details about the sex, I lost interest, because that just doesn't really vibe with me. I don't really enjoy reading sexy romance things. And so after that, with this book being so popular, and I thought, what's wrong with me? I started to read some other reviews of this book and this author, and I started to realize that this author's work and her propensity for creating weak female characters who have really horrible taste in men and seem to get themselves in these abusive, violent relationships, I decided that it really wasn't worth my time to continue to read any of Colleen Hoover's books, and I was happy to put that one away for sure. The next one I want to talk about is called If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. And this is about a cast of actors, and they're all friends, and they eat, sleep, and breathe Shakespeare. Someone turns up dead, and we get to figure out who done it after we weed through all of the Shakespeare references and the language and the quotes that these characters continue to do. And so this one was just way too pretentious for me. I found these characters very boring, and when I sit down to read, I don't want to have to read Shakespeare and muddle through Shakespeare to get to the plot and all of that. So decided that was not going to be worth my time. Okay, the next one is called The Perfect Marriage, and it's by Geneva Rose. Honestly, I don't even have a rundown for you, but I do vividly remember this was an audiobook, and I got it, and so I was headed home from school. So this was in the spring, and I lived at the time about 10 minutes from the school to my house. So it was after school. I started the book, and I made it 7 minutes. I made myself sit and listen to this book for 7 minutes on the way home. And before I even got home, I said, I can't. No. It was nothing but sex and all of the details for the first 7 minutes. They didn't even introduce characters. We're talking about all these sexy details for the first 7 minutes of the book. And again, sex and romance novels are not my jam. That's not why I sit down to read. And so I just couldn't even make it past minute 7. I couldn't, and I returned that book quickly. And the next one was Two Nights in Lisbon by Chris Pavone. And again, I barely made it through the beginning of this book, and it was nothing but sex. I can't. I am of the opinion that if a book or a movie or a TV show is really good and worth its salt and has good writing, you don't have to have all of this sexual details in order to make it interesting. I prefer, if there's going to be that happening in a book, for them to just sort of talk about it, that it's happening, and then let my imagination move past it. But that is not why I sit down to read, and so those two books were a hard no for me. Hard no. Okay, next was Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, maybe? I hope I said that right. This is a collection of short stories, and this particular one is a translation from a Japanese author. I think he's Japanese. And so this is a collection of short stories. This book is this thick. It's very, very thin. And it's short. It's not like a normal size book. It's a very short book. And I read one of the short stories, and it took me a week to make myself get through that. And so I decided, why make myself read a book that I don't want to read? And it has a really good premise about going to this cafe, and you get to travel back in time. So, it has a good premise, and it might be something that you might like. I don't know. I couldn't make myself sit down and read it anymore. Okay, another one that was strange is called Remarkably Bright Creatures, and this is by Shelby Van Pelt. And in this book's defense, I will say that I was doing an audiobook while I was trying to pack and prep for a yard sale. But once I realized that this is mostly about a woman who I think is going to talk to an octopus, I decided that was a no. And I don't know. It could have just been the moment in my life when I just didn't have the mental capacity to be able to think deeper into it and the deeper message of it. But I was nope, I'm done. I don't want to read a book about a lady talking to an octopus. Okay, the next two that I had to talk about, I think I will try to finish again in 2024 if I can. The next one is Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second part in the Naturals series, and I thought that was a really fun YA novel about this collection of high school students who have these supernatural powers. And so the FBI kind of recruits them to come in and help them solve crimes, and Killer Instinct continues on in that journey. And I had to return that book because I didn't finish it before we moved, and my new library does not have that book, and there's no audio version that I can really kind of get my hands on. But I did talk to the librarian at my new library, and I told her about the Jennifer Lynn Barnes series, the Inheritance Games and The Naturals, and I think she's going to order the series for both of them. So I think I'm going to be able to finish Killer Instinct next year. And the next one is The Trackers by Charles Frazier. This one's pretty cool. I already had it on my TBR when we got here to our new town. It's about a post-Depression era painter who travels to paint murals. He lands in Wyoming and he's painting a mural in a post office. And this drama happens whenever I think it's a cattle rancher's wife leaves him, and she takes a very valuable painting with her. So somehow there's this search for this woman and this painting and all of that. And so I got this from our new library I was still in like a reading rut. I wasn't ready to sit down and read a book. It was really hard for me over the summer and really up until like October to sit down and read. I was doing audiobooks, and so I was continuing to do my reading. So this one was really hard, and I think I'm going to try to get it again in 2024, as soon as I can like make my way through some other ones, because I was mostly interested in it. It was just too hard for me to sit down and read. Okay, so the sass continues. Are you ready? I tried to read 2 times, friends. 2 times I tried to sit down and make myself listen to The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. 2 times. And after I realized that I had listened to this book, after those 2 times, for a total of 2 hours, I still had no idea what was happening in the book. I had no idea what it was about. I literally had no idea what this book was about, and I had to look on the app to read the synopsis of the book to even like know what it was I was supposed to be listening to. No. So I gave it a try 2 times. The next one I tried 2 times because I really had an effort. I was going to try to have as minimal amount. I did not finish. I tried with Ninth House, and with this one, Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. There are only 2 books of hers that I just don't really vibe with, and this is one of them. If you like tennis, you'll like this book. You'll understand the lingo, and in your mind, you'll be able to paint those mental images, and it's going to be great. If you don't care anything about tennis, you're going to hate this book. It's about tennis, and I don't like tennis. So, yeah. Okay. This next book, The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart, was a book I had picked up just like, I think at Mother's Day time at Barnes & Noble. It looked really interesting, and I think it's like a YA novel. And I tried to make myself read it, but I just couldn't. It was not interesting to me. And the last book that I did not finish in 2023 is called The Inmate, and it's by Frida McFadden. And again, okay, this is sassy, and I'm sorry, but this video is going to be sassy. I might be wrong, but I'm going to put Frida McFadden on the level of Colleen Hoover in her ability to develop a quality female character. This book is about a woman whose boyfriend is accused of killing someone at a party when they were teens. Unbeknownst to her, she was pregnant at the time, so he goes to jail. She has the baby and, lives life and ends up going to nursing school. And now we follow her, of course. She gets a job as a nurse in the jail where this guy is. She gets this job because she does not tell them that she has had this relationship and this connection with this person. Even though she doesn't have a relationship anymore, she's very dishonest in her getting this job. And, of course, she has interactions with him. And I could already tell that this is going somewhere that was just not even going to be necessary. And I don't know. It didn't seem like this woman was going to make really good choices, and this book was just going to be irritating to me. So I decided this weak female character is not a smart cookie, and when I'm in my mind screaming the whole time, like, don't do that, this is stupid, why are you doing that? I know that I should not waste my time, because there are other books out there that I want to read that have better female characters than that one. Let me know in the comments below, what books did you not finish? Which ones were like the worst did not finish books for you? Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned because I will have more of my book content coming up as we wrap up the 2023 year. I'll see you later. Bye.